uh, more precisely on that. And yeah, this is just only my observation. Thank you.
That's good, Bob. That's good. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But when the speakers speak very fast, we slow them down. I just said them to speak very fast. So I please him to slow down a bit more.
Mhm.
Because some other people need to take note. Yeah.
No background. Đâu anh ca nơi ní học khơi nhìn đâu cả đó đâu bạn. Ông châu trong start video đó. Em bằng khơi bị. Start video. I choose visual background. Nơi cái chất microphone. Okay. Okay. Bà bao khơi choose background nào? Choose visual background nào? Đạn nan. Em bông cho cái lại sinh nhật lấy bô có khơi bong bong này khơi background bong bong. Okay, thank you, Hoffman. It's working now. Rồi. Xe nó ở đây xe nó vẫn khơi cancel nó.
Just a reminder to all the speakers, could you mute your mics when you enter? Mr. Ben, I don't know if you can interpret that.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah, I was just saying they should just mute all their mics when they enter, just so not to have disruptions.
Okay, inform to all, but for me, I just keep on always. I just keep on. The rest they can mute except me. Because I need to translate all times. Mình chụp một bọc vốn xong chơi rename phóng tên là bởi vì xưa nhà đẹp trong cảm thấy hào chung nhà chơi luôn. Vâng, còn đấy có ai share bàn đấy, ai share bàn này. Đang ai bảo?
លោកសម្បត្តិ Hello Hello លោក
ជំ
សម្ប
រាប
ត្តិ
សួរបងជំរាបសួរបងជំរាបសួរ
ឃើញស្អាតខ្ញុំទេ
ឃើញបងឃើញហើយបាទល្អហើយបង
អូខេ
សំឡេងក៏ឮល្អដែរបង
បាទ
លោកសម្បត្តិ
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you to all the participants who joined in today. We'll start in just about a minute. We're just waiting for more people to join in. So please give us a second. Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all the Mr. Ben. Are we ready to go? Okay. Mr. Ben?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you ready? Are we ready?
Okay, but I'm ready. Yes, I go to Khmer
Yeah.
function. Yes.
Thank you. Starting now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much to all our participants who joined us here today for the second day of our presentation, improving business competitiveness and growth through the effective use of IP. Today we'll have 3 presentations. The first one will be topic 5, will be about when names and logos and signs are identical. And we'll have another one about online trading of goods and services. And we'll talk about the IP diagnosis tool, which will help you see what your IP needs for your businesses are. Then we'll have a question and answer session. Please feel free to ask questions after the speaker's presentations. 1 or 2 questions will be allowed in order to improve the flow and the communication interactivity. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Mr. Sambat, who will introduce our speakers. Mr. Sambat, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Rudy. Yes, so yes, thank you very much, Rudy. Okay, so
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, agencies. Welcome for you. Continue our training program on improving business competitiveness and growth through effective use of IP. This afternoon, we have 2 main topics pertaining to the IP. The 5th topic will focus when the trademark similarly and by the law and what law, if any trademark or any logo that's been intentionally recognized either similar or same and under the by this law. So the presentation will be presented by Mr. Ta Bun Narit, chief of trade registration of the IP department of Ministry of Commerce. And I think that agencies, legitimate and all participants will have more questions pertaining to this intellectual property. Then he will translate and interpret more possible. So with that overview, I will give the floor to Mr. Ta Bun Đất to Kim Lu Samling Songkhan, but I hear some disturbance sound. I hear some sound disturbance. Can somebody mute, please?
So Rudy, please share me a co-host to.
Rudy, can you mute the rest, please?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it right
Yeah,
now.
mute all. Without speaker, yeah, mute all.
1 second, please. Has the sound gone?
Okay, quite is good now.
Okay.
សាយនសុដីអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទខ្ញុំនិយាយភាសាខ្មែរ First, may I respect agencies, her agencies, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants who attending in this training program. Particular her agency Tak Red Kamrong and agency Sun Sok Keng and Long Kai Vijat and the expert from WIPO, Vitamin Zoo, Andrew, and other speakers for their participations in this training program. So let me start my presentation as show you in my present as the chief office of the trademark registrations, and I work in this office about almost 15 years. So if you ask me how much do I know, I cannot say I know all. I cannot say that because IP is very broad and widely. So this topic is a part of the IP for those businessmen, business actors that can understand and try to understand and know or learn on what is IP. As my content I present to you in my topic for presentation this afternoon, I propose several questions. So the questions, I believe that you will have the questions, and in my slide presentation also show and share. We have 4 questions. The first questions pertaining to when name, logo, and sign are identical or similar under the law. So in this law and in accordance with the law we discuss under Cambodian law. And second questions pertaining to there is already an identical or similar internationally known name and logo or sign. This is we will also discuss in the next, and the question, the third question pertaining to what if they are or they are not. And 4th question, how can business in digital environment distinguish their logo and sign, and what can intellectual property facilities. So I show you, we must know that what is marks. So our speaker yesterday, like Mr. Tim and Mrs. The speaker from WIPO yesterday, she also presented to us pertaining to copyright. And the director, Mr. Torut, also provide a present on the marks. He also highlight about the mark. So in our law, I will highlight additional in the corporate law in Article 2. Mark means any visible sign capable of distinguishing the goods or trademark or service mark of an enterprise. If it mark as goods, we say trademark. If it marks as service, we call service mark. So you remember this the difference between the two, service mark and trademark. as Mr. Kim have a present in his presentation and also Professor comment mark, there are different types. So my presentation, some only few of them. So marks has such as like letters or one letters or more letters or a sign or a logo or a symbol. Sometimes this picture we composed of words and logo, and some marks as a 3Ds that they can reflect a three or a triangle or as color. So in Cambodia, the single color we cannot protect, but if a combination color, then it can be protected in more than one color. There are different maps. Like Madame from WIPO, she presented yesterday, she also mentioned that there are some hologram, means smell, and others. So these are also marks, but this marks are hologram, smell mark. So in the IP department of MOC, did not organize on all marks that need to be protected. And we all are aware that marks, there are many or multiple types or different types. In Article 3 of the law, like Urgency Takrek mentioned in her opening remark yesterday afternoon, Urgency Takrek also highlighted in Article 3 the agency rights to a mark as conferred by this law should be acquired by registrations in accordance with the provisions thereof at the Ministry of Commerce, and it is under the Department of IP. So you all must aware that in the topic Mr. Tim also mentioned yesterday, related to Article 4, our mark cannot be validity register. So be very clear that he highlight some point A, B, C in the provision of the law. It's not different from what I share and his system. In point A, they said marks if it is incapable of distinguish the goods or service of one enterprise from those of other enterprise. It also explained, and our law prescribe very clear in that provision. So please, all our audience and our administrative should focus on Article 4. This is a provisions that binding you that you cannot register if it not comply. Besides this, you can register except in Article 4. For example, in point B, if it is contrary to the public order or morality or good customs, we cannot register as well. So in point B, point C, that if it is likely to mislead the public or trade circle, in particularly as regard the geographical origin of the goods or service concern or their nature of characteristic, it also prohibited if the geographical locations or area, the law also not allow you to register maps that may mislead either goods or service. We cannot register as well. So in point D, pertaining to any mislead or any flag or any elements or emblem, flags, or name or abbreviations or initial of the name of or official sign or hallmark adopted by any state, intergovernmental organizations or organization created by an international convention, unless authorized by the patent authority of that state or organization. So this article just show you to clarify the understanding as mentioned in Article 4. So in point E is similar as identical with mark belonging to a different proprietor. Always say identical with or confusing similar or constitutes or translate in of a mark or trade name which is well known and registered in the Kingdom of Cambodia for goods or service which are not identical or similar to those in respect of which registration is applied for, provided that use of the mark in relations to those goods or service would indicate a connections between those goods or services and the owner of the well-known mark, that interests of the owner of the well-known mark are likely to be damaged by such use. So in point, if it identical mark belonging to a different registrations or register in the group or services or pertaining to that. So, okay. Let me continue putting to the questions. The first question, my first question that I have highlighted the names, logo, and sign are the same or similar. So in our law, in point so I will explain you further on this matter. The name, logo, sign, and identical, and some well-known trade name, the Tesla, a well-known company in the Kingdom of Cambodia. Do they register? Not yet. Some people they use that Tesla logo for registration. So the person asks, the IP department agree for you or not? No, we cannot. Because Article 4, article prohibited in point 5 of Article 4. So the trade names similar or may mislead, which in point 6 we cannot register. And the department will deny for registrations by issuing the not allow for registration. Why do we deny not accept for registered? Because we refer to the law in Article 4 of the law. For the well-known marks have been a strong protection in the Kingdom of Cambodia for the mark owners, such as the Coca-Cola. So our business person, some other they try to design the sign the letter similar to Coca-Cola. Do we register for them? No, we cannot. So pertaining to the IP require like Mr. Kum said, need to create or invention or designs new or that invent new thing. It can require for registrations to avoid copying from others or to design similarly or mislead to other. Then the department will deny, not allow for registrations. This is in question 1. And question 2, I'm sorry there are some disturbance to my hearing. Can you please mute the mics of our participant, please? If there's a name or similar name or identical or either sign or stem or logo that adopted by any state or any jurisdictions, we cannot register those marks for you. There are some other points to be protected, such as our country as a member of WIPO. So we have list of WIPO central. We can send for our they have their national logo in our data that support and provide WIPO in IPAS. The IPAS, if any logo, any site or map similar that need to protect it for our other country or other WIPO state member, we cannot register for you as well. We will deny for the applications such as EU with like a logo with a flag. It's a circle. Sorry. The star, the many stars in the logo. So some businessman, one business person, they request to put that logo. After we check, so we see that we deny. So at this point, please, all business person to try to create your mark by yourself and don't try to copy from or take any logo other country and to use as your product. So to design your trademark or a promotion, it's very difficult before one mark getting well known, such as the well-known company in other country. So they spend many years before they create and they build and keep the reputation of their mark. In point 3, pertaining of what is they are or they are not. This question pertaining to marks. If it is similar, what will happen? Or it is similar, what's happened? As in article of the law on trademark and on unfair competition in article 4 has to be very clear if that mark is similar to the mark owner who applied for registration or register mark previously, the IP department will not register for you. We will deny or issue you the mark owner based on article 4 of the law. If that when they create or design new design for them or unique in different from the register mark, so the part will register for you. The last one is a bit difficult for question 4. I tried to explain and elaborate. If any terms or any word may impact yourself, please apologize. We must know that how can business digital environment distinguish their logo or sign, and what can the property facilitate this. As we know that I also translate into Khmer and English for you. We know the current situations, the business or e-commerce or business online or on Facebook or at the line or social media, either TikTok. So many of those, they use this system to promote their marks or their trade name for the public and to attract for attractions to purchase their good or their product through social media. It is fast. Recently, the Ministry of Commerce has taken action again to the company who do business online must register at the Ministry of Commerce. I'm sorry, the interference from our participant.
ពីអតិថិជនដែលគាត់
from those customer or the and to show the different or differentiation between the goods and product from one to another, so they must come for registration, and after registration their mark have been protected. If it not take from other or copy for registrations, then we will allow. Let's say they go to visit overseas, let's say go to foreign country, they see any mark of any restaurant or any shop that famous, so they copy and they want to register in the country, it is not allowed. So the registration is not fair. So say bad faith, like bad faith situation. If we find this, the department will not allow you. If the date register we don't find, but the future when they found out, we will refuse. We have to make sure he or she is the real owner of that logo or not. So they want to show the ownership of that person. If the origin owner, they have more support documents. If we are the bad faith person, so you will lose so the person will register in Cambodia, he try to do business and the other trademarks. So the department, when we found out is not enough document or not enough support document, we will reject. Yeah, we will remove from the list. So we will allow the owner of that mark to register. So the department have established different online that you can apply through online. So we have the platform that you can apply through online. For example, the ASEAN CMU, you can access and you check in the ASEAN country, the 10 country of ASEAN, you can check their logo. Which country that the similar logo or the same logo in the ASEAN states. And for global grand data, it is very broad, that under WIPO. They have also registered from other countries, and they store in their data and they share public share to those who can access this internet. They can compare or collect their map, not only in ASEAN, in many other countries or member of the WIPO. So you can access to username or password very easy. You have access things very easy. Recently, the Department of IP request to the WIPO to establish apps for Cambodia, and another step to help you that you can apply or register your mark through app, phone, in the phone. But now in the we say the stage for requesting, it is just on the process. So to create new app, we pay a lot of money. So WIPO is studying and assessing this. We must know that currently is the digital era will be quick and easy to promote any maps. As I said earlier, that to make sure the difference of each mark, the owner of the marks, you must register, then you must register and to protect your mark. If you're stealing from other, or you design your mark similar to other well-known marks, we not allow you for registrations. I think that's all my presentations. So again, thank you very much. This is the website of the department. So you can access to this website Cambodia IP. Then you can store information pertaining to the search. You can search for any maps ASEAN GMU in database. Yes, you can access to this website. If you apply, whether it is similar with other sign or logo or not, because this website don't need username or password. So the department is working hard to facilitate for giving you services and quick service. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chief, Bureau Chief of the Trademark Registrations of IP Department. Now the floor is yours. If any person want to speak or ask questions. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you, Brother, for your presentations. It is short but detailed. If any question, we will have our session for question and answer at the end of the presentations. So this important present by Mr. Bundut about the mark, sign, what kind of marks need to be protected, and it also highlight the well-known marks and similar marks or may confuse or mislead the consumer, and how to design your mark to avoid confusion or mislead. He also mentioned when have the same mark or similar mark, it is not allowed to registration or protected. And the last, he also about business in digital era, that they can use their mark and how to protect their mark and how can they help for IP. Yeah. If you have any question, you can drop your question in chat box. And after presentation, we will have the floor for ask question or answer. So without overview, let's come to another topic, Mr. Chandun. This topic is the sixth topic. This topic is very important as well. Online trade, good services to create value for effectiveness, etc. And also e-commerce and how to protect their trademark or trade name online. So may I invite the director of IP from e-commerce to present, please. Now floor is you, Mr. Dun. Can you hear me, somebody? Okay, go ahead. Good afternoon, Excellency. Her Excellency Red Kamrong, Secretary of State, Ministry of Commerce. And good afternoon, Excellency Sam Sok Heng, Secretary of State, Ministry of Commerce. Good afternoon, Excellency Long Kai Vichet, and Ambassador to WIPO in Geneva. And good afternoon, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished and Mr. Dedi and speakers, guest speakers, particularly our foreign speakers and Cambodian speaker, Mr. Taburit, Mr. Torit, for sharing his presentation recently. Today, I am very proud and very pleased to share with you the presentations on the competition of business competition and the growth of business with effectiveness through the IP, the use of IP. My presentation will be. Can you see it? Can you please? My computer doesn't work. Can you share for me, please, Mr. Sambak? Sound testing, sound testing. Can you hear me very well, Daddy?
I can hear you, Mr. Tip, but can you try sharing your screen? I made you co-host.
Excuse me?
I've made you co-host. Could you try sharing your screen?
Share his slide then, so
I cannot hear you. What did you say? I beg your pardon, please, Mr. Daddy.
I was saying that, Mr. Tip, I've made you co-host. Could you try sharing your screen?
yes, so please allow me to
Okay,
be.
yes, yeah. Yeah, they cannot, they're trying to share the
Okay.
screen. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Sabat is trying to go on it. Yes, my interpretation is clear enough from my booth. Daddy?
Yes, please.
Is my interpretation is clear enough for you?
Yes, it's good enough. It's good. It's good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Today I have a good line. No raining in Cambodia today.
Yeah.
In my area, not in Cambodia, in my area. No raining in my area today. Now, Mr. Sabat is trying to share the screen, but it's impossible. He has some technical problem.
Okay.
And the speaker, he cannot share his presentation as well.
Okay. Mr. Tip, could you send me your presentation? I'll share it for you.
គាត់ថាឲ្យបងបញ្ជូនណែលោកសូមផ្ញើបងសូម
ជាស្រ័យបងចាំផ្លែបងរៀនចាំផ្លែ Daddy, please allow me to share. I can share for him then.
Yes, please do. Let me. I think you have the privileges, but let me just give it to you again. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Okay, I do right now.
Okay.
Now Mr. Sabat will do it. Mr. Sabat will be shared. Yeah.
Do you see my slide, Daddy?
ឃើញបាត់ឃើញហើយ Yes, yes, yeah, I can see it.
លោកស្មាត់ឃើញលោកស្មាត់ឃើញ
បាទជើញបង
បាទសូមអរគុណច្រើន
Okay, thank you very much. អរគុណច្រើនបាទ
Again to Lady and to all the keynote speaker and the participant. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks, and I would like to present my presentation regarding to the improving business test and the growth through the ability of IP. So may I speak in Khmer?
បងជើញមានភាសាជាខ្មែរតែសារយើងមានតែបកប្រែបងណា
Yeah, thank you. បាទអរគុណអញ្ចឹងយើងមាន content របស់ខ្ញុំមានប៉ុណ្ណឹង
My content, this is the content that the content summary, national legal framework, international legal framework, and the Cambodian e-commerce strategy. And intellectual property is the main contributor to the small and medium enterprise in Cambodia. We have the statistics, and the last one is branding. This is some logo I just want to share with you in the Kingdom of Cambodia. And this is the view in Kampong Saum province, and the new airport that under constructions. This show the progress of the progress and development of Cambodia pertaining to the Cambodian history. I think that you all can read and you can find out, and this just share with you some view. I will share with you the national legal framework to achieve our national achievement pertaining to we say e-commerce, pertaining to the implementation of e-commerce or trade. I cannot hear him, I'm sorry. Lost his voice.ខ្ញុំបាត់សំឡេងលោកចន្ទឿនទេបាទសូមឲ្យលោកចន្ទឿនបែបអាចឡាញកុំដឹងបាទសូមជួយមើលផងបាទ I lost connection with Mr. Chandun.
Chúng mình số bằng đứa nó đôi chị on lưu bằng giấy bằng chân mày này bằng. Và chia sẻ trong cuộc
Apologize, maybe lost connections, maybe internet problem.
Và chúng mình số bằng đứa internet connection, so it can be interrupt our presentation.
No problem. So Mr. Tebo, sorry for the part, Mr. Tebo will join right back. There's a bit of interaction with the internet, so please just bear with us for a couple of minutes, and Mr. Tebo will be right back. But so far to the participants, are there any questions? Any questions you have regarding what IP has to do with online trading? Is there any question on how to brand yourself when you're going online, what you can use and whatnot?
Và ở quân đãចូលរួមចំពោះការធ្វើបទបង្ហាញរបស់គ្រូវិទ្យាគ្មិនទាំងអស់ក្រុមខាងការងារនឹងផ្ញើបញ្ជូន
So thank you for speaker. We will send you back. We will while waiting our speaker, we have some technical problems on the internet connection, so please apologize for this inconvenience. In addition, if our participant audience have any question, please drop your question in chat box. You can since our time is not enough, you just drop your question in our chat box. Now we can see our presenter. Please apologize now. We can hear him. I can hear very well now. I have some problem with internet and my telephone. So now my colleague help me to help connect. Okay.
national framework
but national framework in
Okay, national framework we are still there
បើសិនជាបងចង់ share បងអាចចុចខ្លួនឯងបានចឹង stop បងណា
អត់ទេអត់ទេ share លោកសម្បត្តិ share ឲ្យចាស់សម្បត្តិ share ចាស់
តែអញ្ជើញបងអញ្ជើញ
Okay
okay please go ahead
ចឹងអត្តបងលោកសម្បត្តិលោក concerning មក Okay ហ្នឹងហើយលោកសម្បត្តិអរគុណច្រើនបាទ
Thank you Mr. Sambat the national legal framework first we have the law concerning marks trade name and act of unfair competition it declared publicized on February 7 2002 we also have a law on patent
ហើយនឹងគំនូរឧស្សាហកម្មដែលត្រូវបានដាក់ឲ្យប្រើប្រាស់នៅថ្ងៃទី22មករា2003ហើយនឹងយើងមានច្បាប់ស្តីពីសិទ្ធិនិពន្ធនិងសិទ្ធិប្រហែលនៅថ្ងៃទី5ខែមីនាឆ្នាំ2003ហើយយើងមានច្បាប់ទាក់ទងទៅនឹងការគ្រប់គ្រងពូជដំណាំនិងសិទ្ធិនៃការបង្កាត់ពូជដែលបានអនុម័តឲ្យប្រើនៅថ្ងៃទីសម្បត្តិអូខេ13ខែឧសភាឆ្នាំ2008យើងមានច្បាប់ស្តីពីម៉ាកសម្គាល់ភូមិសាស្ត្រដែលបានអនុម័តនៅថ្ងៃទី20ខែមករាឆ្នាំ2014ហើយនឹងយើងមានច្បាប់គ្រប់គ្រងនៅគុណភាពនិងសុវត្ថិភាពផលិតផលនិងសេវាកម្មនៅថ្ងៃទី21មិថុនាឆ្នាំ2020ជើញតទៀតលោកសម្បត្តិ
បាទសូមរំខានបងបន្តិចដោយសារពេលវេលាយើងខ្លីអញ្ចឹងសូមបងសង្ខេបឲ្យបានលឿនតិចបងណាអរគុណច្រើនបង
ហ្នឹងអូខេហើយសូមទៅមុខទៀតទៅហ្នឹងឯងហើយយើងមានច្បាប់អាជ្ញាប័ណ្ណវិជាណានៅថ្ងៃទី27ខែឧសភាឆ្នាំខែមេសា2018ហើយយើងមានច្បាប់គ្រប់គ្រងឱសថណានៅថ្ងៃទី9ឧសភា1996ហើយនឹងច្បាប់ការពារមរតកវប្បធម៌នៅឆ្នាំ96ហើយនឹងច្បាប់ស្តីពី commercial arbitration នៅ2006ច្បាប់ស្តីពីនីតិវិធីក្រមព្រហ្មទណ្ឌនៅថ្ងៃទី22ខែវិច្ឆិកា2009ហើយច្បាប់គយថ្ងៃ20ខែ2007តទៀតលោកសម្បត្តិជួយទៀតនឹងហើយយើងមានអមដោយអនុក្រឹត្យអញ្ចឹងអាចអស់លោកស្រីជើញអានហើយដែលវាជាកត្តាមួយដ៏សំខាន់សម្រាប់យើងដឹងក្នុងនាមយើងជាអ្នកចូលរួមចំណែកក្នុងការអភិវឌ្ឍសហគ្រាសខ្នាតតូចទៅប្រជុំដែលយើងចាំបាច់ត្រូវតែដឹងហើយរឿងនេះជារឿងសំខាន់ជើញទៀតហ្នឹងឯងនឹងឯក្របខ័ណ្ឌច្បាប់ជាតិយើងមានប្រកាសតាក់ទងទៅនឹងការចេញប្រកាសនេះការចេញការចុះបញ្ជីជូននៅគំនូរឧស្សាហកម្មនៅឆ្នាំ2006ការអនុវត្តនៅច្បាប់ស្តីពីម៉ាកពាណិជ្ជកម្មនៅអំពើនៃការប្រកួតប្រជែងមិត្តស្មោះត្រង់នៅឆ្នាំ2006និងអនុក្រឹត្យស្តីពីការបង្កើតគណៈកម្មការជាតិគ្រប់គ្រងកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញានៅថ្ងៃទី18ខែកញ្ញាឆ្នាំ2008អនុក្រឹត្យស្តីពីការបង្កើតគណៈកម្មាធិការប្រយុទ្ធប្រឆាំងនឹងផលិតផលคล้ายៗតាក់ទងទៅកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញានៅថ្ងៃទី31ខែតុលា2014របស់ក្រសួងមហាផ្ទៃអនុក្រឹត្យស្តីពីអភិបាលកិច្ចល្អអភិបាលនៃឧស្សាហកម្មខ្សែភាពយន្តថ្ងៃទី8 2016និងអនុក្រឹត្យស្តីពីការឃ្លាតំណែងគយហើយនឹងរដ្ឋកោនៅ2008ជើញទៀតលោកសម្បត្តិហើយក្របខ័ណ្ឌច្បាប់អន្តរជាតិកម្ពុជាយើងបានចូលជាសមាជិកនៃអង្គការពាណិជ្ជកម្មពិភពលោកឬក៏ TRIPS នេះគឺនៅថ្ងៃទី13ខែតុលាឆ្នាំ2004ដែលការចូលនេះគឺតម្រូវឲ្យយើងទទួលបាននៅផលប្រយោជន៍ច្រើនហើយជាពិសេសសម្រាប់ប្រទេស LDC គឺយើងអាចទទួលបានការពន្យានៅការចេញប្រកាសនិបត្តិកម្មទាក់ទងនឹងឱសថរហូតដល់ឆ្នាំ2033ហើយយើងចូលជាសមាជិកអង្គការកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញាពិភពលោកថ្ងៃទី25កក្កដា95 ចូលជាសមាជិកអនុសញ្ញាក្រុងប៉ារីសសម្រាប់កិច្ចការពារកម្មសិទ្ធិឧស្សាហកម្មនៅថ្ងៃទី27 ខែសីហាឆ្នាំ 2012 ហើយនឹងជាសមាជិកនៃ PCT បានន័យថា Patent Cooperation Treaty អនុសញ្ញាសហប្រតិបត្តិការប្រកាសនិបត្តិកម្មនៅថ្ងៃទី8 ធ្នូ 2016 ទីក្រុងប៊ឺនស្ដីពីកិច្ចការពារអក្សរសាស្ត្រនិងស្នាដៃវប្បធម៌ថ្ងៃទី27 2020 ជាទៀតសម្រាប់
And next slide please សម្រាប់ Recently we are joined as a member of the sub-regional comprehensive economic partnership on November 2020, and Cambodia is a time of 10 years in transitions to prepare itself for the registrations of sound smart. So in Cambodia, there are many now, and it's very beneficial. This is the requirement we need to comply with. And as you are aware that the trade that we have everyday trade names and marks, or they have two types: we have non-conventional marks and conventional mark. So what we apply as conventional mark and non-conventional mark, we have to prepare ourselves ready. And recently, so the training of the Department of IP provide training on this knowledge, and we request them for support, and they support us through AIP team that we are learning on it now. Meaning that it is very important and for long term, and without border, we need to work harder and to continue. We also the member of and CBD, the Convention on Biological Diversity, on 9 February 1995, and also joined as a Beijing Treaty on audiovisual performance. And Geneva Acts of the Lisbon Agreement on appellations of origins and geographical indications. On 9 June 2018, we also joined as a ASEAN member under the ASEAN Framework Agreement on the Intellectual Property Corporations. On 30th April 1999, we have many other treaties that we are member or party to the treaty and conventions. These are the main legal frameworks that I want to share with you. We should have sufficient legacies legitimate to be a member. So obviously the e-commerce is very potential business trend in this digital economy era. And this is the means, is the tool for us to improve, to promote our business in the really. Obviously, the e-commerce is a potential business trend in this digital economy era. We know what is meant by digital economy era. When we have the digital economy, we have the goods and product of the digital services. So the digital economy means that we are economic activity following electronics. Within the last 2 years, the business operations in Cambodia utilizing the e-commerce platform and electronic payment, such as buying and selling goods and services across the border, have been growing significantly. Or Facebook Lives or online shopping. So our Cambodia, it is significantly increasing. In response to these new trends, especially as to give the public confidence in option or in choosing for e-commerce, as well as to eliminate the barrier to e-commerce performance. A number of necessary legal frameworks and policy measure, including the law on e-commerce, the law on consumer protections through Ministry of Commerce. We have established the law on e-commerce, the law on consumer protection, and the law on food safety and digital payment system have also been developed. In the last decades, the e-commerce has been growing very fast in Cambodia through the National Development Agenda. So the National Development Agenda, we have what to do, we have the policy, we have measure to implement in response to the change and the demand. With regard to the e-commerce law, we just in 2012, and we are on the 2nd of November 2019. So it is a response to our new business trade. So this is we say the gold opportunity, the silver opportunity for us to implement. So to the preparedness for the digital economy, economic diversifications, and promoting trade competitiveness and small medium SME, small medium enterprise development, and including law on e-commerce, globalizations, and industrial revolutions 4.0 context. All of this require coordinations between public sector to develop the digital economy ecosystem. In particularly, after the severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic since the beginning of 2020. Next slide, please. The regional government of Cambodia, through the Ministry of Commerce, turned the challenges into a new opportunity to address the specific bottleneck in their respective structures and aim at strengthening the competitiveness and accelerating economic diversifications in the development of the digital economy and goods governance. Next slide, please, Mr. Sombat. The popularity of the merchants of all levels like to pay their bills through electronic payment and social network. All of this need to be participated from our development partners, or support from our development partner based on the above factors and the potentials of e-commerce, also law, such as WIPO, USAID, UNDP, OSAID, USAID, etc. They work together with the public and the private sector. Based on this factor, the potential of e-commerce as a new resource of the growth and for the preparedness for Cambodia for the digital economy. In response to this context, the Ministry of Commerce has issued 10 components, including the strategy and policy focus on institutional coordinations, legal and regulatory frameworks. So we have the small and medium enterprise regulations. And 4, we have the infrastructure of the information communication technology infrastructure, digital skills infrastructure that support to both the soft and hard infrastructure of the informations, communications and technology sectors, etc. Next slide, please, Mr. Sambat. Next slide, please. This slide shows you the summary of the strategy that is summary into this component. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Thanks. So I mean that this is the summary of the context of the 10 component issued by the commerce for implementations and for e-commerce, and to show the appropriateness and comply with the law. And we change from the non-formal to formal business and to implement their commerce or digital in 2023. Yeah, this is the main structures that we want to share in summary in this slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Mr. Sambat. Okay, we can hear you. Just thank you. Go ahead, please. Maybe sometimes the problem with our internet. It is unstable internet. So please, you can just speak and go ahead with the important point I want to highlight. Sambat, please. Next slide, please, Sambat. Next slide, please. Okay, yeah, this point. Yes, please. This graph shows you the statistic of investment by sectors, and we take this from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Internet Operations. They publish on 15 November 2021 pertaining to the investment by sector in Cambodia. So this graph will show you to strengthen for calculations of the business of the SME, both in country and from overseas, to understand if which sector they like best or they like most. We have agriculture, mining, and quarrying. We have the manufacture, financial activity, and accommodations, meaning that the rental apartment, not rental apartment, real estate, construction of condo or building. These are the trade business or business activity. Just show you this graph to reflect the implementations in 2016 to 2019 during COVID-19. Next slide, please, Mr. Sambat. Please, next slide. Mr. Sambat, next slide, please.
Internet ខ្ញុំវា slow ដែរបងចាំតិចទៀត internet ខ្ញុំ slow ដែរបាទអញ្ចឹង
Okay, please go ahead. This slide we want to show you about IP administration in Cambodia. We have a key important ministry responsible for IP. We have a large scope, Ministry of Commerce under the Department of IP on mark, trademark, Act of Unfair Competitions, GI, and Implement of Origins, and the Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology, and Innovations, responsible for patents, utility models, industry designs, integrate circuit, Ministry of Culture, the department in Ministry of Culture, we say the Department of Copyright and the right responsible for the law and legal matters, and the rights of copyrights and the rights and cooperations to CMO or collective management of organizations. Next slide, please, Mr. Sambat. I don't see you now. I don't see any slide, Mr. Sambat.
Mr. Sambat, your slides have gone off.
There's some problem with his internet, I think. Unstable of internet.
Hello.
Internet interrupt. So một đứa chui share slide luôn ai món tao bỏng.
Okay.
We can skip it.
Okay, Mr. Dunn will share the slide from his computer. Please wait for a second. I'm sorry, because he will design and we settle issue. He will ask his staff to help him to install and share from his screen. Please wait.
You can also send me the slides, and I'll just share from here.
ឥឡូវនេះទេបងលោក that day គាត់ថាបានទទួល slide ពីលោកច័ន្ទលោកសម្បត្តិហើយចាំគាត់ share ពីគាត់មកក៏បានដែរបង
Yeah, Mr. Tiff, if you could send it to us and we'll upload from here since we try it.
Hi, Daddy. Can I have 1 minute speaking with my participant?
Sure, please.
Thank you. Yep. សួស្តីបងប្អូនដំណើរអាជីវករផ្សារ Cambodian Trade ទាំងអស់ដែលបានចូលរួមក្នុងកម្មវិធីសិក្ខាសាលាថ្ងៃនេះដោយសារយើងមានបញ្ហាបច្ចេកទេសរឿងអ៊ីនធឺណិតរឿង slide sharing តិចអញ្ចឹងសូមអធិស្ឋានហើយឆ្លៀតក្នុងឱកាសហ្នឹងដែរខ្ញុំសូមបញ្ជាក់ឡើងវិញសម្រាប់បងដំណើរអាជីវករក៏ដូចជា
Please apologize our audience pertaining to the use the Khmer language native speaker in Khmer. If then we have another speaker in this language, so you can click the interpretation. You choose Khmer language. We have our interpreter to translate simultaneously for you. Another for our SME representative. So be easy for us to record the presentation. Please put your name and your company name. Your name and company. So be easy for us that who attending in this training workshop, as well as to promote your company. Again, thank you, Daddy. So we'll go to you now, please. Okay, Mr. Chen will share a slide from his computer. Can you hear me, Daddy?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay, good, very good, very good. Now he will share from his computer.
Okay, but please also send me the slides just in case.
Did I say about it?
ចេញលើផានជាតិចទៀត
លោកដាត់ឌីប្រាប់ថាបើសិនជាគាត់ចែក share បានទេបញ្ជូនដល់គាត់ទៅគាត់នឹង share ពីមកវិញលោកដាត់ឌីគាត់នឹង share ពី computer គាត់មកឲ្យយើងអញ្ចឹងសូមលោកសម្បត្តិជួយទីក៏បានដែរបើសិនតែមាន slide ហ្នឹង share ជូនទៅលោកដាត់ឌីទៅគាត់នឹងផ្ញើមកយើងវិញបាទ
Lady, can you see my presentation? លោកស្បាត់ឃើញបទផាញខ្ញុំនៅ
Mr. Chiv, your mic is a bit low.
បងជួយបងឲ្យ
Rồi đặt slide show mà.
Okay, I can see your slide now.
Okay, okay, nhầm sai.
Okay.
Slide number bằng iPad nhóm nhưng mà
mìnhដូចជាជួយលើក scroll down
slide បងទៅ
ទៀតទៅក្រោមទៀតជួយទៀតអូខេមួយទៀតហ្នឹងហើយមួយទៀតមកអូខេហ្នឹងប៉ុណ្ណឹងចុះជាងយើង
Okay. So after my presentations on administrations of IP, we have a large scope in Cambodia divided into 3 institutions. The first one, Ministry of Commerce, and another part, Ministry of Industry, Science, Technology, and Innovation, and another IP under Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts. So the 3 ministry, and to facilitate the implementation according to the law of Cambodia, they have different things. This slide I will share about the statistics of the implementations of the patents, utility models, and industrial design in 2010 to 2021. So in 2010, we register a patent, 26 have been registered, and UMC, utility model certificate, don't have it. And we have 2 industrial designs. And second, in 2011, we received 43 the patents and 3 UMC and industrial design 47. And 2012, we have 53 patents, UMC 3 and ID 47. In 2014, we have 65, 10, and 82. And 2016, 68, 16, and 106. 2017, we have 42, 10, and 117. We see the increase of the industrial designs. Since 2013, it increased significantly. And the patents, we have 51 in 2018. And utility model, we don't have anything. And ID, we have 85, 73 in 2019, and 81 ID, and 76 in 2020, and 136. And 2021, we have 119 and 103. These are the reflections of the static Ministry of Industry, Technology, Science, and Innovation that they are trying to establish and the registrations actively. These are the results. Mean that Cambodian is toward for the remarkable progress. Next slide, please. And the statistics of the international mark applications and registration from 2018 to 2022. In 2018, there are the signatory country under the matrix system. In 2018, we have the applications 2,689 marks, and those include 5,709 is the class applications, and the class 2,079 class. In 2019, the mark applications from overseas through WIPO and in the Bureau, 3,000 and some up to 778, and register 1,901, and class registration we have 2,221. In 2020, we received the mark application from overseas 2,928. For the class applications, we have 5,382. The number mark of registrations 2,068 when they apply from USA, from China, from Japan, from Korea, from other countries in EU such as Germany, France, Italy, Spain, and New Zealand, Norway. Those countries are the partner country under the matrix protocol. And in 2021, we received 2,889, and the class application we have 1,848, and registrations mark and class we have 1,983 and 4,250 in 2022. We think from January 12 to July, we see the applications 1,031, and the class of application registration and registration we have 3,613 and 1,918. Then for class registrations 1,070, although Cambodia impacted by the COVID pandemic, but our officials of the IP of the department, they are working hard. They don't stop, although there are COVID pandemic in the country, but they still come to work regularly because of the obligations. As well as to increase the quality of work, and for the we say integrity of our country, we always keep working hard, even we are under COVID pandemic. This graph show you the registrations. This is the cycle. I just want to show the figure in percentage and degree. So to save time, let's move to next slide, please. This is the domestic and foreign trademark registration 5 years from counting from 2018 to 2022. Those applications from the country we have 2,300, and from foreign application we have 3,600. 376, and the domestic registration we have 1,496, and foreign registration 4,524 in 2019. We receive application in country 2,815, and foreign applications 3,132, domestic registrations 1,643, and foreign registration we have 2,630.
ឆ្នាំ2021
2021 we received 3,102, and the foreign and domestics we received 2,350, the foreign applications, and for registration domestic and foreign registration we have a 3,120 and 3,266. This is the figure highlighting the registration, both domestic and foreign registrations in the country during the first semester of 2022. We have more than 1,150 applications from domestic, and 1,136 is the registrations from overseas. This slide shows the chart of new business registrations. They register online. This business online registrations we received 2018 to 2021. 2018 we registered 7,007 and 9,605 in 2019, and 2021 we have 7,127 registrations. And this slide shows you the application for e-commerce through online. This chart shows you the applications, and this is the trademark. We spend only 2 months. We have a lot of people and applications. I take this figure and data from the website of the IP department. This data reflections from the 15 July and 2022. And this slide shows you a trademark filing by sectors in July 2022. This is the website of the department. More information you can access to the department website. This slide I want to show IPR in Cambodia for SME. Mean intellectual property rights in Cambodia for small and medium enterprise. So any trade or business must be compliant with the law and fair. So any business which is not comply with the law, we say is a non-formal business or illegal business. So registration is very important. So as we receive the top 3 winner get copy for the SME. We receive the award. So questions, why do we need IP to develop the SME? I said earlier that this is the obligations by law that we must comply with. Then we will receive the legal permit and have fair competition with the partner and the business actors and competitor following the law. Every business, either SME or large company, must comply with the law, and they must register for their business. They must register for their trademark or trade names. Then they have the freedoms and to the business and should be potential and also ensure the transparency. So in the last decade, sorry, before the COVID-19 pandemic, over the past 2 decades, Cambodia has gone through a significant transition. That, you know, Cambodia reaching a lower middle income country since 2015. Our objective is to promote Cambodia to attain upper middle income status by 2030. This is the main visions and the strategy of our government that we need to comply. And all of this, you know, due to the driving by government exports and tourism, including the sustained income and annual average rate of 7.7% between 1998 and 2019. This making one of the fastest growing economy in the country. Mr. Montun, now you have no more time. Your time is so please kindly summary few more words. Then we would give time for our question and answer. Because you have 50 slides, there are more. So we have the 2 other speakers. Mr. And we also have the closing remark. So please, you have few more minutes to finish your presentation, please. Can you hear me, Mr. Banthuan? He asked you, Radhi, can you hear him?
No, I can't hear him. This is about, can you hear him?
Yes. So we lost in touch of our speaker then.
The low connection.
Okay. Mr. Sambat, if it's okay, you just move on to the next. Okay, he's back. Okay. So,
Mr. Pikadi, summary your main contents. Mr. Sambat, because I have problem with my slide present. I understand that. But due to time, you have more time, so you just summary. We would give the floor to another people who are asking questions. So putting to, I think my presentation come almost to the end. We only focus on the branding. So we must know what is mean brand. It means that the office for registration, but you the mark to be promoted your mark. We must do branding, meaning you promote your brand, your line, publish as in my presentation in English language advertising, and to attract your customer. This is to attract the customer and including a company image. And the branding activity is very important. Why we need to do branding? Because, for example, if we do business, if after registrations, we just put your mark at home without promote your mark, without advertising your mark seem no value, no meaning, just keep at home. So you must do branding. So advertising, promoting, or any campaign, such as the music performance band, or such as the Carabao, you know, they do the music advertising, or Pepsi or Colgate. So they want to promote their mark. When you mark are well known, you will be associated in the market. If you need to do your business, you don't want to borrow money from the bank, you don't want to get loan from microfinance, you can, you know, you can do your branding, you can sell your marks, or you can or do licensing or authorizing or franchise of your trademark or to other related people, such as we can see the franchise of different marks in Cambodia. There are a lot, such as Amazon, Cambodian, bakery, coffee. These are the franchise and selling of license, and it is a big income, a big income, and the owner of the franchise just sleep and get the money, you know, they keep generating the money because they reach up to $1 million as the revenue, or 5 millions or 3 millions, depend on the size of the franchise, depend on the agreement before you get the franchise. So we want to draw your attentions to all SME owner, particularly the actor and SME owner, to understand the meaning of their trademark, of their trade names, and the IP, so the IP have the sustainable and long life value. And you use this IP for your benefit, for your interest, as the IP have present to use. So when people the marks, we know what is mean marks. What does this mean? Mark is any physical, they can see, make it a sign, you can see visible of goods from one enterprise. We have trademark, we have the trade name. So our law have very clear provisions. So the trademark have two significant, one conventional mark. What is mean conventional mark? Such as number or letters or wording or combination or number or letters and number.
Motion mark,
such as motion mark, it's movement, say movement marks.
ដាច់ហើយអ្នកចូលរួមរបស់យើងលោកពិបាកស្ដាប់អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំសូមបងប្រពន្ធនេះបានហើយទុក
So I thank you, please, for present. I give the floor to our audience. If there are any questions to ask you, and thank you, I thank you very much. So dapat very important. But due to internet problem of unstable and you spend more time, so please apologize. I would like to conclude your presentation as it is. That's okay, fine, Mr. But I want to explain them but I apologize. You have two more speakers. I apologize. I again thank you, brother. Thank you once again. Now we have the question and answer sessions. Maybe 2 or 3 questions before we give the floor to another speaker. We have 2 more speakers. Please, now the floor is your audience, particularly our SME people. Please, floor is you now. I'm talking too long and exhausted.
បាទដោយសារពេលវេលាយើងនៅខ្លីសូមបងប្អូនដែលចូលរួមបើសិនជាមានសំណួរចំទាក់ទងទៅនឹងអាជីវកម្មរបស់ខ្លួនដែលកំពុងតែអនុវត្តរាល់ថ្ងៃពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយ
Anyone who have any questions on your business as IP or trademark or trade name or any, please floor is you now. You can ask questions to speakers.
អូខេឥឡូវអ្នកចូលរួមរបស់យើងលោកអត់មានសំណួរទេអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំអាច
I see no questions, so may I give the floor to Daddy.
So I'll give you a floor then, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samba. Thank you so much, Mr. Detective, for your presentation. It was very informative. So without further ado, we'll just pass the floor to Miss Mariana Velasco. She's going to take us through the IP diagnostics. So, Mariana, over to you.
Thank you very much, Rudolph, and good afternoon to you all from Geneva. I am very, very excited to present the WIPO diagnostic tool. It's our latest software that has been developed mainly to help small businesses how to identify if they have any type of IP in their businesses. So I've seen the program that you have been taking the last yesterday and today, and you already have some idea of what intellectual property is and why this could be beneficial for you, for your businesses. But let me take you one step back and to try to explain why intellectual property is not only something that is important for big enterprises or the academic sector, but that every business, small, medium, big, has intellectual property. And the importance of knowing what we have so we can plan and adapt our business strategies around an IP strategy. So every time that you create a sign, a letter, a word, or a color to give some visibility to your goods and services, you are creating a trademark. When you create works of art, books, music, but also applications, mobile applications, computer programs, and databases, this work that you do can be protected by copyrights. When you create a shape or a new let's say hats or shoes or bags, or even the bottles or the packaging of your products, and you put work into that design, you can protect it through industrial property, industrial designs. If your goods have a particularity because of the place they are produced or the place the raw materials come from. Here you can think of, coffee, tea, some pepper, or any kind of products that come from a place that gives a special characteristic. Then you can rely in geographical indications and have more customer appearance, right? People will be more keen to buy those products because of the place they come from. And if you, for example, know how to do things, some crafts or some, let's say, products, you know how to make them, and you feel this is a very unique way or unique input that you put into the product, you don't want anyone else, your competitors, to know about. So it's important that you put in place a strategy to keep that information secret. And this is what we call trade secrets. And last but not least, we always think and feel that patents have to be this big, breaking through technology and very complex word, but it's not. Patents are, we find patents in every sector, in every industry, and it's important to always think of, okay, what I'm creating, this is new, I have never seen it before, this is responding to a need, or I'm improving the way we did things before. Think of patents and try to see if your inventions can be protected through patents. We say that IP contributes to economic sustainable growth, but this is, words. You don't see how something that is in your mind that you have put in concrete goods or services can contribute to your business growth. But let me walk you through and explain how using your IP, what you already have, can help your business become more competitive, become more successful. First of all, when you have IP, intellectual property, and when you know what you have and you protect that IP, it will help your business to establish and protect your business competitive space. Why? Because let's say you have this trade secret that I was talking about. You have put in place everything you need to put in place to protect that secret from falling into the public domain. Well, other competitors won't have the key secret, the key process or ingredient, and it will help you to keep your customers. Your competitors won't have the possibility to steal that from you and use it for their own benefit. Can also contribute to visibility of your businesses and your goods and services. Why? Let me take the or a logo or a brand, right? When you have your logo, your brand, your trademark, and you use it in a way to always present yourself, present your company, present your goods and services, and create in your customers' mind the idea that this is related to a good quality, this is related to this this producer, this company. Well, small steps will take you to create this unique relationship with your clients that will come to a market and will choose your product because they already know it. They've seen your logo. They have trust in this mark, and they will buy it because they know it, right? We say that using IP enhance or helps enterprises to access technical and business information and knowledge. Why do we say this? When you understand what IP is, how the IP system works, and where to find, let's say, the databases that you've seen as Patent Scope and the database for trademarks and for industrial designs, well, you will access a world of knowledge, right? When you see how things are done, when you see what is already there, what people have already created, you can use this as a base to keep improving and developing and taking one step further. If you know and you learn about IP, you know what IP rights you have, is less likely that you will go and use someone else's IP. That way you prevent yourself of making a mistake of using someone else's IP, right? And so you will avoid the risk of doing something that is prevented by law. And last but not least, this is the perfect, let's say, set when you have identified your IP, understood what IP is better for your business to put your work into that IP, then you can also use that IP to have more income, to generate revenues. And why? Because we can have the possibility to have joint ventures with other enterprises that are interested in your inventions, in your designs, and then you put together these efforts and you create these figure joint ventures. You can also have investment from private sector people interested in putting some money in a company that is promising and has some future. Then you can, you can sell your company in a way saying, we have these industrial designs, we have these trademarks, we have, this is part of the assets. And you will also say, we have this machine, we have this deposit, but now in this digital world, having an app or having a database will show a lot of value for investment. And last, you can also license your IP. And how this works, you get into a deal, a commercial deal, where you say, okay, I have these designs. I love to create new designs of, let's say, shoes, but I like less the producing the shoes. So you will license your designs to a producer of shoes who doesn't have the time to create new shapes of shoes, new colors. So it will be an interesting system of having income for your inventions. WIPO has a transit from this big register to a more service and capacity building oriented organization, because we have identified that small businesses mainly have IP, but they don't know what IP they have, and they need to learn how to identify and how to use that property in order to have the economy moving, right? So we have some figures here. We say that small businesses account for 90% of firms worldwide. They provide more than 50% of jobs, and in this sense, they play a critical role in economic growth of all countries, independent of the state of development. When we see SMEs that use their IP rights in a strategic way, we measure that they generate performance revenues that are 50% higher than those SMEs that don't use them. And they have 21% more possibility to grow in the following 3 years, and 10% more likely to become a big firm, a high growth firm, if they combine multiple IP rights. So when you see this, you you wonder why the small businesses don't use the IP system. And we have identified that this is related to a series of factors. Among those factors are the lack of awareness. The SMEs don't even know that they have intellectual property assets, and they don't know what importance those assets can have in their business growth. There exists a very limited technique to identify those IP assets. There are very few professionals that speak the language of businesses. Always we have these IP discussions in a very legal language. So for the enterprises, it's very difficult to assess and to understand. And last but not least, the idea that protecting and ensuring and registering IP is very high, the cost. So the IP for Business division at WIPO developed a tool, which is a software that is hosted in our website, and is a self-assessment tool. So the enterprises can go to this software and do an examination of their IP, of their businesses, saying, okay, I have this, having this, what type of IP do I have? This tool works in a way that has some questionnaires, and depending on the responses that the user gives to that questionnaire, it will generate a unique report for that business, in which we have a very generic idea of what IP is potentially in that business, how to use it, manage, and exploit it. And it's very unique to that user, because it depends on the responses the user gives to the questionnaire. This software is free of use. You can use it as many times as you need to, and it will adapt to the business evolution. Because if you have if your business has changed, you will go back to the tool and respond differently to the questions. So the report will adapt to these new responses. And we have the tool available today in the 6 UN languages. This tool has been created and developed by IP experts, but it is not a legal advice. Why? Because WIPO wanted to create a unique software that is the same for all countries. And as you've seen, the IP law depends on the legal context of each of the member states. So the idea is to have this first assessment with the IP diagnostic, do the questionnaires, and after that, take a step further with an advisor that could be a TISC or an IP office, a Chamber of Commerce, or an IP lawyer who knows the local regulations, and see if indeed those IP assets that were identified in the IP diagnostic tool can be registered in Cambodia. With this tool, the objective is also to explain in a very easy to understand language what are those IP rights, and to point to some risks or situations that you should bear in mind. For example, if your logo has been created by a third party, you know, an artist or just a third party, then you have to do all the necessary steps, take all the necessary steps to ensure that when you buy that logo, you buy the whole property and that you can use it, sell it, license. So you won't be stepping into the IP right of anyone. So for the practical session, I'm going to next show you how the IP diagnostic works. You have to go to the WIPO's website or type IP diagnostic tool in any browser. It will take you to the page, and you just hit start as is shown in the slide, and then you will have one first questionnaire, which is called the pre-assessment questionnaire. This one is very basic about the business, how the business is shaped, structure, what do you sell, how do you sell, where, and with those answers, the second layer, which is a second set of questionnaires, will appear and will enable the IP assets that potentially exist in your business, taking into account the responses that you gave in the first questionnaire. It's important to bear in mind that not all enterprises or businesses will have all the IP assets, because some will have a lot of, you know, industrial designs, but not necessarily patents or internationalization if you don't sell abroad. So there, it's depending on your business. If you respond to each of the sections, it will take you around 1 hour to respond to the diagnostic, and it will give you a set of reports for each of the IP sections. You can access this software from any device, a computer, a phone, a tablet, and you can also stop the process if you are engaged in the questionnaire and then you have to interrupt and do something else. You can then come back if you log in using the same device. You don't need any type of registration to do the diagnostic of your business. And because you don't do any type of registration, it's important also that you download each and every report that you have, so you can have it with you to go to see an advisor or to read it or to show to your potential investors. You know, this is also some kind of way to sell also your business to investors. Let me take you now to the tool here. Right, I can't. Here. I'm going to take you now to the tool, which to show you how the tool works. I don't know if this is a little bit late, but if someone in the room wants to volunteer and use your example to show your colleagues how the tool works, it will be my pleasure to walk you through the tool. If not, I can just use an hypothetical example. So if you're interested, please just speak. Maybe no. Okay, let's say that we are doing the assessment of a company that sells rice, right? They buy the raw material from producers, they clean it, they do all the process that they need to do, they put in the package, and they sell it, right? They have a logo, they do propaganda, so they will advertise on internet, with flyers, with different materials. They have 5 employees, and they sell only in Cambodia. With this in mind, let's do the IP diagnostic assessment of an enterprise that will look like that. And let's see what IP rights could be potentially in that enterprise. So the questionnaire, the pre-assessment starts. Have you developed a product, process, service, or technical modification that you consider new, innovative, or unique? For this enterprise, I don't believe there is anything new. They just sell rice. So let's say no. Do you generate materials like manuals, pamphlets, labels, or produce videos, software, newsletters, music clips, etc.? We said yes, that they do this to sell their products. They will do some advertisement. Do you use features like patterns, lines, colors, or shapes to make the external appearance of the packaging of your product attractive? Let's say yes, that this enterprise has this packaging with a logo, with a color, in a shape of a rice, that will be appealing for the consumers. So let's say yes. Does your business rely on information that you consider commercially valuable and that you do not want your competitors to have access to? Here we can say yes, and let me explain why. When you click here in the information button, it will take you to what type of information is considered commercially valuable. So you think of any technical or scientific information, let's say about the type of rice, or the machine you use to clean the rice, or any type of technical or scientific information. It could also be a software, research results. Also, strategic information. This is including your consumers, your producers, the prices, what people like, what kind of... Sorry?
Can you hear? No, the electricity is off in my area. It just start again. I lost. Okay, go ahead. I can see it now.
Okay.
Please, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I lost the application. I'm sorry, I cannot find it because recently my area, the electricity power was off. It just on again. So I reset the computer.
So Mr. Ben, are we good to continue?
Can you please create the translation app for me, please?
Okay, I'll do that. Sorry,
Yeah,
just
it
give
was
me a
low.
second, Mariana.
Yeah, it was low due to the electricity connection. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. You let me know when I can continue, right?
Yes, I'll let you know in a second.
Okay.
Wait a second, please. I'm waiting for the translation.
Okay, Mr. Ben, you should see it now. Can you see it? Mr. Ben?
Okay, thank you. Also, any type of database that you have, this is commercially valuable. So in this question, I will say yes. Do you use a logo or other sign to distinguish your products or services from those of others? Here we said yes, they have a logo, they have a sign. Do you rely on external suppliers, independent contractors, or consultants? For ensuring stocks, getting components, developing material, running advertisement campaigns, etc. And here we will say yes. We already said that they buy the rice from producers, but they also sometimes use, let's say, enterprises use external suppliers or contractors for different kinds of services. Do you have or intend to create a website? Let's say they do have a website. Do you manufacture or sell products outside the country where your business is based? Here we said no at the beginning. Let's stick to the example, but you can also say yes, and this will change the second questionnaire that we will see after completing this one. Do you have employees? We said yes, there are 5 employees. Do you have access? Do you have access to intellectual property services or expertise? Here, let's say no, because this is mostly the case of companies doing this assessment. They don't have the necessary information about IP. And this is why they will do this assessment. So let me show you first how to change the language if you wish to do so. You have all the 6 UN languages here. Up in the upper part of the page, you have 2 reports, which are more information and let's say warnings about potential situations that could be risky. So you have suppliers, independent contractors, and consultants, and access to intellectual property expertise. These 2, you can either download the report or read it in the web. When you read it in the web, you won't have it for afterwards. So we recommend you download it. I will show you how to do it later, and save it in your device. So here, why it's important? Because it will take you to what different relationships your enterprise can have with external parties, and that could have an impact on your IP if the IP is being generated by those third parties and not by someone from your company. And then you have also access to intellectual property expertise. Here we have the 2 links that I think you already saw. This is the database of TISC in around the world, and you can go and see if Cambodia has some TISC that can be also a place where you find information and advice. And second, here you have, or first here you have the directory of the IP offices around the world. This is just a disclaimer to be sure that you understand this is not legal advice. This is something very, let's say, is a first step in a journey that you need to take hand by hand with a local advisor in your country. And down here you have the IP sections that were enabled thanks to the responses you gave to the first questionnaire. So you have trademarks, confidential information, designs, creative materials, employment aspects, website, and here more information where you can click and it will take you to the guides and publications of WIPO's IP for Business division, where you have more information in a user-friendly language about IP, the different IP that you may have. So let me take you back to the diagnostic tool and here.
Hi, Mariana, could we wrap up in maybe 2-3 minutes, please?
Yes, I will just show you very quickly.
Thank
here.
you.
If you go to trademarks, then you have the second questionnaire, and you will, let's say, no to each of the questions just so you see a report. And so you will read the questions and you reply to the questions. And when the questionnaire is done, you will have the report that will look like this. Here. You download the report and about trademarks, for example. And then you have 4 pages of information about trademarks that is important to bear in mind, to understand, and that's the report. Sorry for the late delaying, but if you have any question, please don't hesitate, and I'll be here to respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. There's a request in the chat which says, can you please share the link? All right, thank you. So I'm just gonna speed up and just share with you a quick presentation. Thank you to all the speakers who have come, for taking your time, and thank you for you, the participants, for waiting so long, for staying along with us. Really appreciate your time. I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay, so we're just going to give you a bit of a background information about WIPO and the work we do. So this is where to get further information if you have more questions and whatnot. So WIPO is based in Geneva. This is the headquarters of WIPO. It's an iconic building where a lot of people come to see, and there was a little water fountain right in front of WIPO. So this is it. Our Director General believes that we have to work together to bring the next generation to have a voice in our conversations and debates on the future of the world. And he believes that it's important for us to shape the future by unleashing innovation and creativity and potential. So the potential of creativity, and that is the essence of why we're here today, to speak to you, to engage with you, to be able to understand what are your business needs, what are your business struggles, and how IP can be of value to you, how IP can help enrich what it is you're doing and protect you most of all. There was a study that said that 68% businesses that had protected their trademark had 68% higher profits. And these are the type of conversations you want to keep engaged and having with you. So this is where you can get more information. You can contact us. You can check out our website. All these links will be put in the chat by Ivani, my colleague. And in WIPO, there's a lot of information. You can follow our World Intellectual Property Day. You can see what we're up to. You can see how we can help you and resources you can do to, assist you in everything you're doing. I'm just going to go to the next page. Sorry. So I don't know my slides in the movement. Sorry, just give me a second. Sorry. So, yes, let me just show you this. So we have our newsletter, and you can sign up to our newsletter. A link will be put in here where we tell the stories of different people, what they're doing. Like, for example, so some of your businesses really want to write stories about you, what your experience has been, what you need, what your things have been in IP. And I think this would be very good publicity for your businesses. Every quarter, as you can see, we focus on agro-foods. We had one for youth editions. We keep having different personalities show up. Sorry, I'm not putting in presentation mode. The presentation's been a bit jumpy. But lastly, we also want to build a community. We want to be able to, okay, you can still see my screen, right? Can somebody give me a yes, just to make sure? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the last thing we want to do, oh, not last thing, but we have a LinkedIn community. If you could all take out your phones and scan this QR code, join our community. Let us hear from you. Let us hear what you want to talk about. Let us hear the questions you have. Let us hear what's going on. So please take out your phones, let us know if the QR code is working. I'm going to try it out with mine right now. Let's take a second. It should take you straight to LinkedIn and to join our community. So please try it. I'll give you like a minute more. But I mean, my colleague Vani will put the link in the chat right after this. we want you all to join to be able to ask questions, to be able to talk about what strategies do I use to move my business to an e-commerce business. We want to mentor and guide you all. So yeah, this is just a short presentation on what we do at WIPO. So yeah, I'm going to stop here because of the interest in time. We are a bit behind schedule. And yeah, looking forward to you joining us. Please try and join our LinkedIn group. Scan it, let me know if it works. For those using your phones, a link will be sent in the chat. So it'll be easier. Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So I want us to move to the question and answer session. Do you have any questions, anything you want to ask? Sambat apa?
បងប្អូនអ្នកចូលរួមបើសិនជាមានសំណួរបងប្អូនមានសំណួរអាចអញ្ជើញបានទេយើងនៅសល់ប្រហែលជា5នាទីទៀតទៅ10នាទីទៀតទេបាទបើសិនជាមានសំណួរសូមអញ្ជើញបាទ បាទឥឡូវនេះយើងក្នុងគណៈរងចាំសំណួរពីបងប្អូនអ្នកចូលរួមអាចសំណួរផ្ទាល់តែម្ដងឬក៏អាចផ្ញើក្នុងឆាតមកក៏បានដែរ បាទនៅពេលនេះយើងដូចជាអត់មានសំណួរ so we move to our schedule we don't have any question from our participant then so we can go ahead from our schedule
Yes, all slides will be shared with you right after this presentation. Before we go on to our closing remarks, we'd like to invite someone's mic is unmuted. Let's see. Okay, I think she's bring now. Yeah, we'd like to invite Ambassador Long Kimi Vichet, permanent representative of Cambodia, who will do our closing remarks. Please, Ambassador, yeah. We just give Ambassador.
So I just lost in touch, so I cannot catch you up very well. So right now we move to our closing remark.
Hello, bạn trong học kia đây.
លើអាយដាមទៀតបាទឥឡូវពេលនេះយើងដល់កម្មវិធីទៅពីបិទតែត្រូវធ្វើការបាត់ដល់អាយដាមតាមចិត្តកៈរិទ្ធទូតំណាងប្រចាំក្រៃចិញ្ចកម្ពុជាប្រចាំអង្គការពាណិជ្ជកម្មពិភពលោកនិងអង្គការអន្តរជាតិពាក់ព័ន្ធសេដ្ឋកិច្ចនិងពាណិជ្ជកម្មនៅទីក្រុងហ្សឺណែវបាទសូមទទួលវេទិកាជូនអាយដាមបាទសូមអញ្ជើញអាយដាម
បាទចឹងខ្ញុំនឹងថ្លែងសន្ទរកថាបទនេះជាភាសាខ្មែរជាបឋមសូមគោរពលោក Andrew Ong Director នៃអង្គការកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញាពិភពលោកលោក Yemin លោក Daddy Rudolph លោកស្រី Wickman ដែលអញ្ជើញមកពីនាយកដ្ឋានកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញានៃក្រសួងពាណិជ្ជកម្មនិង Wickman ទាំងអស់ដែលអញ្ជើញមកពីអង្គការកម្មសិទ្ធិបញ្ញាពិភពលោកខ្ញុំក៏សូម
I would like and respect the all SME representative and all distinguished who attending in this training program on behalf of Excellency Pan Sorasak, Minister of Commerce, and following the advice of Excellency Red Kamrong, the Secretary of the Commerce. I would like to inform you all that the training workshop for the last 2 days that we organized for you all, the workshop on improving business competitiveness and the growth through the use of IP come to the end for today. But at the end the whole program, we will continue to organize another training program workshop on IP to share you knowledge and understanding and for implementation from our SME people, then they can continue their business. The last 2 day training program I highly evaluate and appreciate for your participations. And you are active participation from the beginning to the end successfully, and particularly you are coming to a close relationship and active communication. I also know that the communication, asking questions between speaker and the audience, it is very important. And the good point, a remarkable point, that this training workshop we have the presentation from different guest speaker, but without any asking questions or communication, we cannot get in depth, particularly pertaining to the awareness to learn new knowledge from our participants. So I can note their active participation and the response from the speakers to all the people asking questions from the two institutions, both from the IP department and our guest speaker from WIPO. I strongly believe that the SME people who present here with us in this training program really learning new knowledge and learning the sharing of knowledge on how to use IP, not only for protections of your IP, and particularly in the use of your IP for attraction of the buyer and the consumer, aiming to promote your income and to generate the economic growth for sustainable for SME, in particular the SME that led by women and youths. I would like to inform you that our organizing for the program, this is yet to start only, the first start. We will organize another training workshop as the need and the requirement of our SME people. We will organize, cooperate with the WIPO experts, and to ensure that our training program is better. I also request your feedback of our organizing. What can we organize which is better than now, let's say, because I can say our organization, we have some we can improve it better for the next training program. And for the contents of the program, both the topic and presentations, we will prepare. How can we prepare for the future? Be easy for you all, because IP is a complicated topic. It needs to understand about the law and the law. So we are SME people, our knowledge on the law, we need to understand, we need to know, but this basic knowledge that we need to understand. And what the SME people need to understand, need to know, by my point of view, is the use of your IP to promote your business. This is the main focus that you should consider when you you can give a feedback, then we can prepare to fit your need. So our presentation to you for now, we can see a bit complicated. This is some complicated. However, normally the workshop that we organize, or the first organizing of the workshop, we always we explain on legal provision, explain on the provision of the regulation. We want you to understand the law. Then we will prepare another content on the use of the IP. So our organizing for the next training will be easy for you and simple. We will give you example exactly or clear example for you that be easy for you to understand by giving example, but focus mainly on the use and based on the existing law. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you our effort, your effort, both from the commerce as well as from our WIPO organization. We provide this training for the benefit, for the interest of our SME people. So we encourage you all, please fully participate with events, and we need to hear your voice. We need to hear your comment, your feedback, what you want for the future, what you need, what kind of knowledge, what kind of themes or topic that you want. Please give us your comment, your suggestion, then we can prepare your need to meet your need. I also encourage you to use the tool that presented by the IP diagnostic tool that presented by Madam official from WIPO. She shared with you to use for analyzing about the IP. How can you use it? How can you use to promote your business? That you can generate your service or your business that can help you. And what I know, this tool is also in the process of translation into Khmer languages. If this tool been translated into Khmer language, then it will be easy for you all to learn to use it. I also would like to remind you that if you have any question relating to the presentation from our guest speaker in the last 2 days, if you have any additional questions, I please kindly send your question to our working group. We will respond to you. We will clarify if any questions. Because you know, in Cambodia, many of you don't want to ask question at this time, but you can write a question, or but you sing off, you can send us. You can send the question to us, then we will respond to you. So again, I would express my sincere thanks for Excellency Dr. Tiêu, in particular for our guest speaker from Department of IP and our speaker from WIPO for sharing their knowledge and experience, good experience to our audience in the workshop. And also thanks, particularly thanks for SME people for their participation in this training workshop within the last 2 days. That you are patient and listening to the presentations and you presence in this training workshop from the beginning to the end. Particularly, and once again, I would like to express my sincere thanks and deepest thanks for our working group from WIPO and working group from Ministry of Commerce for the effort to make this happen and working together to provide training to our SME people. In particular, the SME who are attending in this Cambodia trade, Cambodia trade market. Last but not least, I would like to express my highly appreciation and thank for excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants. And I wish you all to have longevity, good health, strength, and success of every duty, and be away from the infection of COVID pandemic. Thank you very much. You're the best. I also apologize for my interpretation. If there is any missing word or any point, please kindly forgive and apologize. Oh, let me add a bit more. Thank you. I have the proposal, Ambassador. I would like to request, after this training program or on IP law, I would like to have a group on IP group, because our SME people, as you say, we don't understand about the law. We little understand about the law. So we want to have a group of people that we can learn. Then we can respond through our group. This is the first one. Second, as SME people, I want to another group, a group that for discussion, question or feedback that been approved from Cambodian trade. Currently we approve SB Cambodia, but in the group, can we express our opinion, our concern? We would like to accept a group that we can communicate among ourselves. Or any questions in the group, Excellency Chair. That's all we refer to you. Thank you, Excellency Chair. I understand that your request is good. We can do it. So may I request our working group in the Internal Cooperation Department, please. Can we create the group that he requests, and what we can respond and communicate in the group to provide understanding and knowledge to our people from SME. So I understand we can do it. I think we can do it for you. So I request the Department of Internal Operation to do it. And again, thank you. If any request or proposal, please. Let me give you 2 more minutes. If any question or comment or proposal. Thank you. Thanks, Excellency, for your meaningful remarks, and I wish you good health. And from the of MOC, we thank all guest speaker. We thank for all guest speakers and our group and the Department of Internal Operations. We will close. But we give the floor to Mr. Daddy, please. Daddy, floor is yours now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sampa. So we'd just like to thank you, Ambassador, for that wonderful speech. I think it's very important indeed to have more interaction, and also to the suggestion of the group. I think that's exactly what we want to do. We want to go more into focus groups to explain, to go a bit deeper, and to understand what challenges are, how we can better help you. So please feel free to get in touch with DIP, with Senki, and with Lachia, with Mr. Fawn, and let's work on something soon. We are ready to go any day of the week, Saturday, Sunday, next week, even from Tuesday. Maybe I'm promising too much. Yumin is looking at me, but let us know when you're ready, and we're always willing to come in and help. So with that being said, I'll pass the floor to my colleague, Mr. Yemin, and also after that, my colleague Vani will come on to just request we turn on our cameras and take a group picture again, if that's okay with you. Also, over to you, Yemin.
Rudy, maybe before we pass the floor to Yemin, I think I'll speak in Khmer because this is related to one of the requests.
Let's speak in Khmer language. Recently, I received the request to establish a group. We will establish the group, our work group from the Department of Internal Operations. But let me remind you that recently, the WIPO, he showed a LinkedIn group that you should join to establish link account. Then you can access, join in the group, the LinkedIn from with the Department of the Asia Pacific, of the WIPO. And in a group, you can also ask questions that you want to understand on IP. So we have the exits and the access to learn, to understand, or ask questions. So please join link together. I invite you all to join the link. that you build communication, a closer communication between and among ourselves and the Department of the Inter-Cooperation from Ministry of Commerce and the WIPO. Again, thank you. Thank you. Jimmy, now floor is you. So,
thank you, Your Excellency, and I cannot, help but agree to, with what you have said about the follow-up that we need to do, to support the participating SMEs and so on. So please, be assured that, on our side, on WIPO, we are ready to, stand ready to assist in any way that we can, and go to the level of the individual, needs of some of the SMEs, things that they may need in the, for example, in the area of branding, in the area of registration, or maybe in the area of simply, try to explore, the market abroad, how to go about, protecting the trademark that they have, in expansion of their market as well. So we are ready and we are willing to go to the that level of detail, but we will certainly continue to rely on our existing excellent collaboration with the Ministry of Commerce and the good offices of Ministry of Commerce to work with the SME community in Cambodia, and then do let us know as to which selected SME that we can work with as the next step, as the next phase, and so on. We very much look forward to help these selected SMEs so that they become successful stories in using intellectual property, and hopefully this will also serve as a motivation, as an encouraging stories to inspire other SME in Cambodia as well. So just wanted to thank you, Ambassador Long, and also your colleagues from the Ministry of Commerce, starting from the Secretary of State who opened the two-day event, and also Sun Wei Che and his colleague from DIP, Lai Che from his Department of International Cooperation, and all the colleagues from Ministry of Commerce for the collaboration, especially for this two-day event. And we look forward to do the follow-up with all of you to really see through with some of the SMEs that who need more support from both from the Ministry of Commerce as well as from WIPO as well. Secondly, I would like to thank all the participants from the business community from Cambodia. On behalf of WIPO and my colleague who are present here, I sincerely hope that you have found this two-day event to be informative and useful. Of course, in two-day briefing sessions, if I may call it that way, not much can be achieved. Of course, this is just a starting point. It's not an end in itself. So we would like to look this as a process in our collaboration. So this is a very much a process, and there's so much more that we could do more as well. So my colleague Mariana, the other day Tanvi, Rudolph, Derek, they have already touched on the type of support that the WIPO could provide in collaboration with MOC. And most of the support that we can provide is also, by the way, free of charge. So there's no cost anything to any SME at all. Advice, be it expertise, be it use of tools, and so on and so forth. So I would like to thank all of you for the time that you have taken, the interest that you have shown in this training sessions, and then we will very much would like to hear more from you, your feedback as to how we could support you further, how we could do such a training session better in future as well. Lastly, I would like to also thank my colleagues, starting from Rudy, Andrew, Mariana, Tanvi, Derek, and everybody, those that they have helped to organize this two-day event. And without them, this would not have been successful. So I truly appreciate the time, the effort, and the energy that they have put into this. And I know that, and I think I speak on their behalf, that we are ready to go even further and extend this further to the SME community in Cambodia. And yes, and very lastly, just as a message, intellectual property, as the Ambassador Long mentioned, can be seems very daunting subject matter because it's technical, it's legal, but please look at it as a tool, as a tool to, grow your business, as a tool to expand your business, as a tool to make more money, more profit, out of your product or service that you have. In Cambodia, you have, a lot of SMEs. In fact, almost 100% of the SMEs are from almost 99.8% of the businesses are SME in Cambodia, and they account for 70% of the employment in the country as well. And if we look at the SME in Cambodia, we can broadly look into, three broad areas. One in the area of, the production sector, like in agriculture, processing, manufacturing, and also in the mining area. The service sector, the second one as well, and also in the trading sector, so wholesale, retail, and so on. Whichever sector that you may find yourself in, intellectual property can play a role in business expansion and growth. And here, this is about, making your business more visible to your customer base. Try to be distinct, different from your competitors in the marketplace, not only in Cambodia, in ASEAN, and probably beyond as well, if you have the market for your product and services beyond the ASEAN region as well. And it's also avoiding the risk of being, unknowingly, infringing, others, IP rights, or, inadvertently using your own, valuable, information, innovation, and also the creative output that you have, put out as well, with time, effort, and money as well. So please think about, IP as a tool, as something that will help your business grow and expand as well. And we are there to help. If it doesn't matter if you doesn't know very much about IP, there are agencies that are there to help you, advise you, support you. MOC, WIPO, and many others. So let me stop here. And thank you very much all very, very much once again. And I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again very, very soon. Thank you very much, and stay safe as always.
I'd like to pass forward to Vani, so we can just all turn on our cameras and take a quick picture, and we can be on our ways. And thank you, Yamin, and thank you, Ambassador. Thank you to all the parties, Ministry of Commerce, International Forum, Blackshare, Mr. Fawn, and everybody else. Thank you so much. And colleagues from DIP, and my colleagues from WIPO. So Vani, I'll pass you the floor so you can direct us.
Hello, everyone. So for those who are able and want to show their camera, please turn them on for a group photo. Okay, I will take it in 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
All right, thank you, everyone. Please join our LinkedIn group. Message us, write to us. Let's connect, let's learn more, and let's see what we can do. Thank you so much. Have a nice afternoon, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So again, Daddy and Mr. Tan Jimin, I thank you for the opportunity to provide my service to you. And I thank you and wish you all the best and good health.
Thank you. Thank you also to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, my pleasure.